Wildcats over the Jackrabbits 71-64. Head coach Sean Miller has joined us here courtside. This is a really good opponent that came into the building here tonight, Coach. They played extremely well. They're going to do really well in their league. Your guys had to have a big second half to beat them, and did.
You know, I'm thrilled we won, and to your point, South Dakota State did an incredible job. They're a very well-coached team. I thought their point guard handled himself very well. And he has a really unique way of dribbling full speed into the paint and stopping and pivoting. And, you know, they do that really well as a team. And they find three-point shooters. And, you know, we knew coming into the game that Douglas Wilson, number 35, was an outstanding player. And he was again tonight. For a while there, he was the best player on the court. And then, you know, we had a number of breakdowns, but we did not play well. We certainly didn't play smart. We have a player on our team that's leading the nation in field goal percentage. And at halftime today, even though he was in foul trouble, he had 0 field goal attempts. And really, it started in the last game where he played about 8 minutes in the second half. He didn't get a shot there either. That will never happen again. And if you look at the difference in the game, first half we had 12 turnovers, the starting group. And we have to take a look at that group just because you can't continue to get off to the same start and turn the ball over 3 to 5 times in the first 4 minutes of the game. It's one of two things. We're either trying things that we don't need to, or we're more tentative and we're not confident. We have to be able to get off in the first 4 minutes of a game and play smart basketball, take good shots, but most importantly, not set the tone for a high turnover night. And, you know, again, it's like 3 turnovers in the second half, 12 in the first half. We shot in the first half, and we've talked a lot about this. We took 14 three-point shots. In the first half, we took 10 twos. Mm-hmm. We were 8 for 10 from two-point range, 8 for 10. Zeke had 0 attempts, and we took 14 threes. You know, it was a carnival. We're playing, you know, people talk about tempo. Tempo is when you get good defensive stops and you have great opportunities. You get into your offense fast, and a high percentage shot takes place. Stupid basketball is when you take quick shots, three-point shots, jacking shots when you have an advantage, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a hole. And you know what? It's better to learn that lesson now, but we learned that lesson, and that won't happen again. The ball has to get close to the basket on drives. It has to get close to the basket on post-ups. And as you saw in the second half, Brian, as that happened, a couple things go. 1, you turn the ball over less. Mm-hmm. 2, you shoot more free throws. 3, you score more points and you shoot a higher percentage shots. And then finally, as they trap the low post, a couple of the threes that we did take in the second half happened to be wide open. But we only took three threes in the second half, mm-hmm. and they didn't present themselves. The reason we won is we had 3 turnovers, and we eventually took advantage of what we had as an advantage in this game, and that is the ball's got to get around the basket. And that doesn't mean that guards aren't allowed to do things, but those things have to be drives and post-ups. The crazy quick threes from 30 feet, there's a time and place. Tonight wasn't the time or place, and we weren't a very smart basketball team. I'll also tell you that that's the worst defense we've played this season, and it reminded me a lot of the defense we played the last couple, and we have to correct that as well. We had a number of different errors. They took the ball underneath their own basket, and I think they got 2 dunks. Again, communicating is something we're doing and working hard at, but we didn't play well tonight. And it was a very frustrating night. I give South Dakota State tremendous credit for teaching us a lesson, and we're very lucky to win.
I was going to say lesson learned tonight. In some ways, can you look at it that way and say, all right, our guys got pushed tonight. I'm not going to say things were easy for the first 4 games, but they saw something tonight in them, your team did, that obviously gives them pause now to correct before Sunday and as the season goes on.
It did. You know, our bench didn't play well tonight either, and in the first couple games they did. You know, fouling three-point shooters, turning the basketball over, missing defensive assignments. A lot of that happened with the guys that didn't start. The guys who did start, you know, the first 4 minutes of the game, I think we had 5 turnovers, 4 or 5 turnovers in the first 3.5 minutes, and they were ill-advised. No matter what team you play in college basketball, it's almost impossible to get a good basket, a score, in 1 or 2 passes, 2 or 3 passes. If that's off of a defensive rebound and we're pushing it and we got numbers, then that's easily understood. I'm talking about in half court when it's 5-on-5. You have to share the ball. You have to screen. The defense has to move first side, second side, third side, inside. And then all of a sudden, I think whatever shot you get is going to be a really good opportunity. But to force your will in the first 1 through 3 passes and be a team that at halftime is 3 for 14 from 3 and 8 for 10 from 2, that doesn't make any sense. And, the other part about basketball is some guys shoot better than others. Just because you're out there doesn't mean you need to shoot it. And some guys are making more than others, and the guys that are making them need to get the ball more. That's the coach's job, and that's going to happen right now.
You mentioned to me before the ball game that one thing you were disappointed about in the New Mexico State game was that your assist total had dropped, and now here tonight it kind of drops again. To your point, what you just said, that's the illustration.
We didn't share the ball.
Yeah.
We didn't share the ball. There was too many long stretches, and 12 turnovers, 15 for the game is too many, especially at home in a game like this. And we have to be better. And if we're not better on Sunday, we'll find ourselves in an equally frustrating game. But tonight was no fun on the offense. And then eventually, and it's amazing how it's connected, Brian. When you're selfish and your mind's not in the right place and you're not playing together as a unit on offense, it's almost impossible for the same group of guys to be tough-minded and together and hard-playing on defense. And it makes no sense to play that hard on defense and give everything you have and play together. And on offense, a guy just shoots just a quick 27-footer. Yeah. And we have a couple guys that are really gifted, and those guys always have the freedom to shoot that shot. But this can't be anyone who catches it is shooting threes. It makes no sense. And tonight it really, really cost us, and we weren't a smart team.
All right, message delivered. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Head Coach Sean Miller here courtside as the Wildcats beat South Dakota State 71-64 the final.